I had already placed my shoes in the gray bin when they called me aside. Nothing about the moment felt dramatic at first. Airports are full of small interruptions, random checks, secondary screenings, the quiet choreography of control. I picked up my belt from the tray, half looped in my hands, and followed the officer without asking questions. It wasn't fear yet, just a narrowing of attention. He didn't say much until we stepped just beyond the main flow of passengers. Then he turned the screen toward me. My name was there. Under it, language that didn't belong to me. Words like urgent, risk, report filed. For a second, I thought it was a mistake so ordinary it would fix itself. Then I saw the timestamp this morning, the same morning as the probate hearing. Something in me went still, not shocked, not even angry, just aligned. Pieces I hadn't fully assembled before slid into place with uncomfortable precision. My parents didn't argue loudly. They didn't make scenes. They arranged things. Quietly, persistently. Always in ways that could be explained away if questioned. Missed messages, misunderstandings. Documents sent just late enough to complicate, never enough to incriminate. This was just a larger version of the same pattern. The officer was watching me, waiting for something. Denial, panic, confusion. I could feel the expectation in the space between us. I didn't give him any of it. Pull the emergency call log, I said. He blinked, just slightly, not resistance, just recalibration. Mom, the call that triggered this, I added, steady, not louder. Pull the log. It wasn't authority in my voice, it was specificity. Something concrete enough to interrupt the script he was following. There was a pause, not long, but visible. Then he turned back to his screen. The seconds stretched differently then, not tense, just deliberate. I adjusted my grip on the belt in my hands, noticing small things, the hum of the scanners behind us, the soft shuffle of other passengers moving on without interruption. Normal life continuing a few feet away. He leaned closer to the screen, scrolled, stopped. That was the moment. It wasn't dramatic, no sudden exclamation, just a subtle shift. The kind you only notice if you're looking for it. His shoulders lowered slightly. The tightness in his expression eased into something more neutral, more careful. When he looked back at me, I wasn't being assessed anymore. I was being acknowledged. Thank you, he said. Quieter now. He didn't turn the screen this time. He didn't need to. I already knew what he'd seen. Names carry weight, but context carries more. And in that moment, whatever had been reported about me no longer stood alone. It had a source, a pattern, a traceable origin, and that was enough. I'm going to clear this, he added, already moving with a different kind of efficiency. Not rushed, just purposeful. You may need to wait a few minutes. I nodded. Minutes, not hours, not detention, not escalation, just correction. I stood there, holding my belt, feeling something unfamiliar settle in my chest. Not relief exactly, something quieter. Confirmation. For years I had questioned whether I was overinterpreting things, whether the small disruptions, the careful interferences, were intentional or just coincidence layered too neatly. But systems don't respond to feelings, they respond to records, and now there was a record. He came back sooner than expected. My boarding pass was handed to me differently this time, not as part of a process, but as something being returned. You're good to go, he said, no apology. None needed. The system had adjusted. That was enough. I put my shoes back on slowly, threading my belt through the loops with steady hands. Around me, everything looked the same. No one watching, no one aware of what had almost happened or what had been revealed instead. I checked the time. Still possible. The hearing wasn't lost yet, but as I walked toward my gate, I realized something had already shifted in a way the hearing couldn't undo. Whatever happened with the will, whatever decisions were made in that room, there was no returning to what my relationship with them had been. Not because of anger, because of clarity. There are things you can confront, things you can argue, repair, renegotiate. And then there are things that, once seen plainly, stop asking for your participation entirely. At the gate, they scanned my boarding pass without hesitation. A small, ordinary sound pyre Menson to move forward. I didn't look back.